What's going on, everybody? Grant Mona here from the Sporting Tribune today. We have a stacked crew here, as you can see. And it's not just because Deebo Samuel signed with the 49ers, although we will get into that first. But it's just because we want to talk about sports. And we always love to talk about local sports. But the Niners are kind of local, I guess. They have a big fan base here in SoCal. But we're going to talk about NFL training camp in general. We're going to talk about the Clippers and all the rumors surrounding that team. We're going to talk about Luka's supposed trip to Slovenia for the whole team, for the Lakers. And we have an awesome crew to do it. Tim Parker is back on. David Bloom is here. Mykell, Mathieu, Eric Lampkins II is here. Guys, we have still a lot of things to talk about, but I'm going to go to Elam first because Elam, Deebo Samuel is now a San Francisco 49er once again after a stint with the Washington Commanders. It is assumed that Ricky Pearsall is not going to be at least available for a long period of time, if not the whole season for the 49ers because of that swelling in his knee from the PCL injury from last year. What are your initial thoughts on, I guess we can do both, Deebo and then Ricky Pearsall not being healthy yet again?
You know what? It's a position that the 49ers kind of had to do something because Ricky Pearsall was anticipated being wide receiver 2. And one of the things in this Kyle Shanahan office is that flexibility amongst all positions is required. And now you lose I'd equate him to maybe a rook, maybe a castle, or a castle is a rook or a knight in the chess, on the chessboard. Ricky Pearsall was going to have a more prominent role in this offense. His ability to create separation isn't something that you could replicate. But from the reports that I've been able to keep up with coming out of 49er camp is the rookie that they have, Dejon Stripling. He's looking amazing. You still have Jacob Cowan, who's more of a slot receiver. There are other wide receivers who are forced to step up, but Deebo Samuel, with him, you're able to be multiple. You don't know whether or not he's in the backfield just to, belly out and hit the flat, or whether or not he's actually getting the ball. So it changes the dynamics, the chess pieces, the chessboard, more or less, with Deebo Samuel on his roster. And I think it'll portend well for the 49ers. Kyle Shanahan, may he get better, but one thing that I know that he thrives and excels at is being creative. And so having Deebo Samuel back into the fold is a huge boom, but losing Ricky Pearsall, I think that is going to hurt somewhat.
Yeah, I agree. I was actually high on Ricky Pearsall coming out of Florida, but it just hasn't panned out so far. Mykell, good to see you again, man. Does this Deebo Samuel thing have any impact on the NFC West at all? I think I kind of know your answer already.
No, I honestly thought, with the team that they had, they would be the best third place team in any division across football. So now you lose Ricky.
Oh.
Now, Chiefs gonna be top 2 in that division, but you lose Ricky, who I like to call 50 Cent. He was able to take some bullets and come back and play well, and you are hoping to see him take that next step in football. But this injury is something that's carrying over. Now you're depending on a guy in Deebo that they got rid of a year ago. So it's going to be interesting. I'm not sure when Kittle is going to return from his injury, but at the end of the day, it comes down to Brock Purdy and him elevating his game. You need the run game to be elite, which we expect it to be. We want to see what the defense is going to look like. And just that NFC West is so top heavy. I think the defending champions are going to be pretty good as well. I know they lost Kenneth Walker, but, they were able to draft a solid running back. They're going to play some good defense. They have a go-to receiver who may be the best receiver in the game right now. And Sam Darnold, we haven't seen this Sam Darnold. He's going to come into the season with a confidence that we haven't seen from him ever in the NFL, because now he's like, I'm a defending champ. I've been there. I got it done. I'm ready to continue this. So it's going to be fun. And then, of course, we already know that the Rams look like they could be the best team in the NFL. So for the Niners, I'm like, you wanted to see Ricky, what he can bring, because you know that Deebo can't really beat one-on-one. You can use him as a gadget guy, screens, maybe even hand it off to him. But Elam, you already know about Deebo and the complaints about him. So now you're just getting that again. You have Mike Evans, so that's going to be a great look. But I don't think that it does too much to help this team. I believe that, like I said, they're going to be the third best team in that division, and they're just going to have to figure it out.
Mykell, we're going right to you, Tim.
Yeah, so listen, I'm going to make Elam smile, and then I'm going to make him frown. I'm going to start by saying the 49ers fan base resides at SoFi Stadium. There you go. Like they own.
Well, all right.
Yes. Okay. So even if there are more 49ers fans there at the NFC Championship game, come on, man. So like let's start with that. Hey, listen, it got me a free trip to the Super Bowl. So thank you, Rams. But also, I'm going to make you frown. The 49ers are cooked. In my opinion, I came on this show a few days ago and said I thought the 49ers were the clear second best team in this division. I did not believe in the Seahawks anymore. I'm not saying the Seahawks are garbage and they're going to fall off the face of the map, but I believe they'll fall back to like a 9-8 type team, record or whatever. I think the Seahawks are now elevated above the 49ers because
losing Ricky Pearsall.
But listen, it's the injury plus the cohesion of a training camp. Your coach is concussed. He's not even going to be around for much of camp. What are you
talking about? He's out there. He might not be leading, practices, but I think Kyle Shanahan is exemplifying the grit and the toughness of the 49ers. Okay.
That's great.
As an objective reporter, the 49ers don't need much to beat the Philadelphia Eagles. They can beat the Eagles with a practice.
We're not talking about the Eagles. He's deflecting.
We're not talking about the Eagles, but I'll get to that in a second. The bottom line is Christian McCaffrey is another year older. If he's healthy, he's dynamite. But them knees, them ankles.
He was healthy all last year, was he not? Once he got, he got over the bilateral Achilles thing. But he played all year. Yeah, but he played all year.
Okay. But still, he's another year older. Deebo Samuel, we're riding the 10 years ago train. What are we doing with Deebo?
Clearly, Tim, you haven't been keeping up with his training regimen and all that. Deebo Samuel is in the best shape. I know you don't.
It's the Ben Simmons jumper video.
Hey, let me tell you guys this. We all watch Friday, I hope, and we know that Deebo doesn't win at the end, and that's going to be the story for him with the Niners once again. I think they're going to be a tough team as always to try to beat. Right, they're going to win some games, but when it comes to truly impacting who's going to possibly get to the Super Bowl to represent the NFC,
it won't be them.
It's going to be more Rams. It's going to be more Seahawks. Not just because of the energy of the injuries. It just looks like the Niners are cursed. Like this season, everywhere you look, it might be a reporter that slips over a water bottle tomorrow covering training camp that gets hurt. So.
It's a collection of a bunch of bad crap happening at the same time. However, it seems like this, on the positive side for the Niners, it seems like this always happens early enough for them to get it together,
right,
mid-season and on. So I think this is not their year. But hey, we've seen it. We've seen them last year. We thought they were done. You saw what they did. They beat my Eagles. So, I don't know.
David, do you have any thoughts on Deebo Samuel? Just the magnificent, awesome Deebo Samuel going to the San Francisco 49ers.
I guess can we mail the trophy to Levi Stadium already? Can we get it up to Santa Clara?
Last year. It's just the Seahawks received it. So
it's my thing with the Niners, and this is not going to be too kind to the Niners. They will always have enough to get there. They will never have enough to get over it. They've always had enough to get to the playoffs, to surprise the fans, to get to the Super Bowl, to make a run, but they've never had enough to get over that hump. And this year doesn't feel better than the Super Bowl years. I don't see anything that I'm like, oh, this team looks better. They added an older Mike Evans. They brought back Deebo. Their quarterback is good when healthy. And of course, we could go down the rabbit hole of, oh, the Niners need to stay healthy,
Here you go, David. Here's their offense.
Somewhere.
Look at that offense.
It's fine. It's nothing spectacular, and I feel like it's the same story with the Niners. We'll watch them overachieve when we doubt them, underachieve when we want them to perform. They'll get there. They will get there. Shanahan's offense and Shanahan's coaching is spectacular. We know this. We know what he can do. We know what Purdy is. We know what a healthy McCaffrey is. We know what that defense can be. But they'll get there. And
if his head is right.
Time and time again.
Listen, I think that's overblown. I think he'll be fine.
It's a bit overblown.
It is.
Hey,
come on.
He
got a major accident. Obviously, he's going to be hurting for a little bit.
I think you guys are failing to acknowledge that they're playing a third place schedule. Like a healthy 49ers team with a third place schedule, that is a playoff team. Now,
that's a great point.
It's crazy because I've seen the 49ers win healthy, beat Seattle in Seattle. I saw them with a depleted roster beat the Rams at SoFi. And, well, like I said, in the playoffs, the defending champion had a very short Uber ride home due to a practice squad from Santa Clara that went into the link and beat them. So regardless of what the composition of the roster looks like, the 49ers are a real team. Why? Because they're coached up. So I understand, much can be made about their injuries. Yes, they are a maligned team when it comes to injuries, but I'm not going to discredit and discount them. Like, that's like saying Sean McVay wouldn't be able to go, to the playoffs if Puka Nacua, Kyron Williams, and
tread lightly because it'll be tough.
We've seen it. We've seen this picture before when the Rams had a bunch of injuries the year after they went to the Super Bowl and they fell apart. So yes, they would.
Hey, Grant, throw that roster back up.
Well, I'm gonna put a better graphic up for you.
Oh, okay. See, that looks great right there. If this was 3 years ago, then I would be like, yo, this is an incredible team with, a younger Mike Evans, Deebo, Kittle, Christian Kirk, McCaffrey. But now you're kind of looking at this team like, man, they will need some stuff to go right because, yes, Elam, they have that third place schedule, but the NFC is stacked, man. You got the Cowboys, Eagles, you have Green Bay, Detroit, the Chicago Bears, right? One team is going to make it from the NFC South, unfortunately, and then you have
the Panthers.
So help me understand. Eagles they beat, Cowboys they beat, Green Bay they beat, Detroit they beat
last year.
Has anybody played this year yet?
No, but we're looking at different rosters
here. What are we talking about?
We're looking at different rosters, different teams.
This is some Niners optimism here.
That graphic was the NFL version of the Kevin Garnett Brooklyn Nets. That's what that is.
I love that.
Listen, man. No.
James Harden. Like, come on, man. Stop
I don't know. Okay, listen. I am the biggest 49ers hater that you could possibly find. I despise that team. But I gotta give credit where credit is due. They somehow find a way. I don't know how they do it. They're like that cockroach that you try to step on. Get out of here, get! And it's still crawling. Oh, got away. Oh, there it goes. It's gonna have a nice life now. That is how the 49ers are every single year. I don't care how stacked the Rams are. I think I've said this on the show. I don't care how stacked the Rams are. That game is going to be a one-score game in week 1. Or whatever else they play when they play in Santa Clara. It's going to be a tight game. Now, they did technically blow them out last year, the Rams in Santa Clara last year. But that first game was a classic. It was an overtime where the Niners had no business being in that. The Niners shouldn't even have been in the first round, let alone winning at your place, Tim. at
Thank
your
you.
place. So you can say we can make fun of this Niners team. Listen, I would love to do that, but I can't at this point because Kyle. No, well, I wish, I hope, but Kyle Shanahan and this organization and these players, I don't know what it is. They win. They get to 9 wins. They get to 10, and maybe it won't be enough to make the playoffs in a very tough NFC. But I'm not going to put it past the Niners to be at least in the mix. Like, you guys are talking about the Brooklyn Nets with Kevin Garnett, like. Come on.
Oh yeah, I didn't go that far.
That
team didn't
that's
do
what
it.
the roster looked like. I'm just saying on paper, that's what the roster. we thought the Brooklyn Nets were going to be good too.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Mike Evans on the Niners is not that bad.
I'm not a fan of the signing, but I mean, you got to do something.
Not the greatest thing in the world, but he can still catch the ball and run the routes and get the 1-yard touchdowns like he's Devontae Adams.
There's a reason his legacy team did not sign him back. The team that made him a Hall of Famer and won a Super Bowl, they know he's done.
Well, yeah, he had a collarbone injury, he had a hamstring injury last year. See, good
luck with that, Elam.
I have been looking down in the corner at Elam, and Elam's giving me some okay, I'm taking notes. Okay, I'm hearing all this.
No, because the Niners are going to be they're going to be well coached. They're going to be a team that's going to be fighting for possibly a wild card slot.
Yeah,
I'm thinking bigger picture as far as contending for a trip to the NFC Championship or possibly Super Bowl. I just don't think they have that team this year unless guys play out of their minds, which I don't expect because I think the Rams are just that good. I think that Seattle is going to be good. So they're going to be getting beat up within the division and, not including what they're going to have to deal with the rest of the NFC.
Chicago, with Dallas and Philly.
Can I ask one quick question?
Go ahead, Elam.
Can you raise your hand if you had the Seahawks winning the Super Bowl last year?
I did not. Oh, if I did? No, I'm not raising my hand.
In the playoffs, I picked them to make the run.
No, before the season.
No.
Not before the season. Okay.
Mykell, you knew the Chiefs were winning the Super Bowl. So
before the season.
The playoffs.
Hey, as long as you have 15, you can make it any year.
But it's 15. So it's funny how you're talking about injuries, and Patrick Mahomes just had a catastrophic knee injury. Is Patrick Mahomes going to come back looking the same way? Because I doubt that he's going to scramble. Patrick Mahomes has not looked the same since Travis Kelce has started to age.
That's not Patrick Mahomes.
There are a lot of moving parts in this thing, which is the NFL season. And the beauty of it is we're getting ready to have a TST Fantasy Football League, and you'll all get ready to see why I'm the champ. So
I'm taking all Chiefs.
Put your rosters up, fellas. Put your rosters up.
So he's resigned. He's resigned that the 49ers are not winning the championship and resorting.
I haven't said anything. I am an objective reporter. I am not a fan. I am just calling it how I see it.
We are all human beings, man. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's transition to another LA loved team because there are a lot of Niners, Lakers, Dodgers fans, which I don't get it. But listen, whatever you want to do. The Lakers, Luka Doncic is doing something pretty cool, and I wanted to mention it on the show. Luka is hosting the entire Lakers roster in Slovenia for a 4-day mini camp in August, featuring workouts, golf, sightseeing, and I'm not going to even try to pronounce the name of the city in Slovenia, but he's doing it, and there's some team bonding ahead of training camp, according to Dave McMenamin, who does Lakers coverage for ESPN. So, guys, Mykell, I'll start with you. Kind of a new era for the Lakers. This is Luka's first time leading the Lakers franchise, and he's doing it early.
This is what we've been waiting for, right?
You love it.
We were hoping number 23 that played for the Lakers before would do something like this, right? To show the fans that I'm really serious about this, right? I'm not just going to post my individual workouts doing things. No, I'm going to get my team together and I want to show this diehard Laker fans that, hey, we want to do something special. So to see Luka doing this, he's bringing that camaraderie to a team that's fully his now. And that's what, I told a lot of Laker fans, that's why we needed to move on from LeBron, because we wanted this to be Luka's team and we want him to be the leader of it. So him doing this was a great first step, right? He's helping some of those guys who probably would have never visited Slovenia to get out there and to see what is there. But on the court, they're going to already be going at it. It's kind of like what you see from football at times, right? You see a quarterback get together, fly their wide receivers and tight ends and running backs out so that they can get to work early. So this is just a great move. He came in fixing murals. Now he's doing something like this. Laker fans love it and are going to love it. And now it's time for us to see the results. But it's a great start for Luka as the leader of this Snowtime Laker group.
Yes, I'm perfect segue. The leader of the Vanilla Lakers taking his team to the land of their ancestors. This is not going to do anything when it comes to landing them where they need to be in the Western Conference. Will it help them get to 1 seed higher than what they should have been? Perhaps. A little extra team synergy, help you get a couple more wins. But the bottom line is they're going to be, at best, in the middle of the Western Conference playoff pack. 3 or 4 seed, maybe 5 seed. This trip is not going to improve that.
Hey, but you never know,
because the middle of the pack.
Hey,
3 or 4 is
high
at the
up
top.
there. That's
yeah, because last year,
yeah.
coming into last season, no one thought the Lakers will be a top 3 seed coming into last season. It was like, man, I don't know. If I can remember, some people even had them as a play-in team. So I think that this Laker group that they have together is going to be a solid regular season team. Like, they're going to be a team that's going to be able to
that
score.
loses in the second round.
Yeah, but hey, long as you win games, the fans are going to show up and have a little belief, and that's where it
how
starts.
the mighty have fallen, Tim. That wasn't the Lakers' mentality.
This is the craziest.
This year one of Luka's leading.
Go ahead.
This is the craziest take I've heard. Listen, Luka Doncic is making everybody around him better. The things that I was told a certain player does, it's kind of difficult to think that if I'm a player, if I'm a teammate, it's difficult for me to take you seriously when I see you in an opposing team's practice facility working out. It's difficult for me to see that to when we're having team bonding activities, you and another teammate are on the golf course. Your golf trip is more important than bonding.
To be fair, that was the old facility. It wasn't their actual current facility.
Hold on, was there branding of another team?
There was.
Okay.
Right.
So it's
ugly logo.
It's not as if your facility wasn't available. You were trying to make a play. You were trying to make a point. Now, for Luka Doncic to have everybody, not some people, everybody, including somebody with the last name James, on a plane overseas practicing in July, that shows me a lot about the mentality going into the season. This shows me a lot of the character of the team.
Yeah, okay.
And I know that there's it's so easy to call them the milkman Lakers or
Vanilla Lakers,
Lake Snow. Listen to
no time.
Skill matters more in this rendition of the NBA than anything. The Lakers arguably are the most skilled team.
We'll be right back on the Sporting Tribune today, guys. All right, welcome back to the Sporting Tribune today. David, I wanted to get your thoughts on this. Do these things, because here's the thing, David, and to everybody, there are a lot of players that do this. There's a lot of players that do this, but I think when Luka pays for all of their flights, for everything by himself for 4 days, as finally the primary leader of the Lakers for the first time since he's gotten to the Lakers, it sets a different precedent, in my opinion. I think it's a really cool thing that he's doing this. And it feels like since he got to the Lakers, he's been doing a lot of these types of things. But David, does this matter to you? Does this matter to the team?
Yeah.
Do you think this helps them in the beginning of the season? I do.
I think that the Lakers in the regular season will be fine. But this is meaningful. This is important because we understand what chemistry, what bonding, what being teammates means in a long, grueling NBA season. Guys will get hurt. Players will go down. Players will have rough patches. They'll have hot streaks, and they need to stick together. And the Lakers have bigger ambitions than just making the playoffs. They feel with 77 back there, like Chiefs fans feel with 15 back there. They can do anything they want. And it's more about, we will get into this as the season progresses. It is more about what does this Lakers team look like in the postseason matchup. There are a lot of good teams that are getting better, teams that are opening up cap, teams that are revamping themselves. Who are these new Lakers? Because this is a new Lakers. This is a different era. We are done. We have cut off from anything that is left from LeBron and AD. It is Luka's team. It is time for Luka, Austin, Kessler, all those guys. The question becomes, does this matter enough to elicit playoff success? They're going to have a good regular season. We know this. They're going to play together. It's going to look fun. There are going to be some great highs. There'll be some tough lows, but Luka's a leader. Luka is a leader. You cannot say that Luka is childish or he doesn't care about his teammates. He took a team to the finals where they played great, but in all honesty, I don't think they should have been there. And they overachieved, and they went as far as they could. And then all of a sudden, Rob Pelinka and Nico Harrison got in the way, and now we're here in LA. Now we're here in a Staples Center, as I may say, Crypto.com Arena, if you will. I think that the Lakers ultimately, as much as it matters, it doesn't matter, because no Laker fan is going to look at a season and say, all right, we got second rounded. Pretty good. No. Lakers fans are as they should be. They've won all these titles. They've got all these players. You can be greedy. You're allowed to be greedy. Covet, please. They will covet more than just a second round exit, a conference finals exit. They want a finals appearance. They want to be better than Oklahoma City. They want to be better than the Spurs. And that's where there's going to be a lot more than just their team bonding in the summer in Slovenia, which is great. All credit to Luka. But when it comes down to May, April, June, it's not going to matter, and they'll just be weird team photos we'll get to meme after they lose to the Thunder or the Spurs or something.
I disagree in the sense of what the Lakers fans' expectations are for this particular team. Yes, it's championship or bust. But if this roster somehow gets to the Western Conference Finals, I think the Lakers fans will be very excited about that. And then the expectation for the following season will go up. Similar to what the Lakers did when they got swept by the Nuggets in the Western Conference Finals. No one expected that, so people were actually like, that's pretty good. Now let's see what you do next year. And then once those expectations reached again, there goes the disappointment. So I think it would be an achievement for the first year of Luka Doncic solo to get to the Western Conference Finals. I think that would be a very successful year. I know it's not Lakers standard, but I think they're realistic enough to know getting past the second round would be important for this team, especially when you have the Thunder and the Spurs. Now, obviously, injuries could happen, and then if one of those teams have a significant injury, then Pandora's box open. But as it stands, getting to the Western Conference Finals will be a major feat.
Yeah, I think this run, or this team, this group that they got together, I believe it's better, of course, but it reminds me kind of like the era that Kobe had prior to the 3 straight finals, to where the Laker fans should expect for the team to just try to see what Luka can do with them, right? If he can get them to the conference finals, that's really great. If they lose in the second round, now it's like, all right, so these are the little moves that we're going to have to make to get us to that next spot. So, Laker fans, Laker fans know ball. So they're not dummies about it and going to say, hey, this team should get right to the finals. It's like, no, it's going to take some more, but we just want to see where can the superstar Luka Doncic take this team, and then next year is when you could try to maneuver and do some things to maybe try to compete for a championship. So I don't believe that the expectations for this Laker team is extremely high. You just want to see a team that has camaraderie, that is going to give its all the entire season. Maybe Luka is going to go out there in Slovenia and work, and maybe come back playing some damn defense, right? Like that will get
we all
Laker
can
fans
dream, man. We all can dream.
excited. So no more cone drills, right? He won't be that guy anymore. He's going to put in some effort with him being the leader, and it's just a breath of fresh air, because now you don't have a certain superstar hovering over the team, the locker room, the media, to where it's kind of a new chapter, new beginning, and anything that you see that is different or that can show improvement, you're excited about it. So seeing Luka taking charge as a leader and doing something like this is really great, because I remember growing up with the Lakers, they would go to training camp to Hawaii, and that was the getaway to get them ready to try to make some runs. Since they don't do that anymore, this is kind of like that trip for this team before they go to training camp.
Once a cone, always a cone, Mykell.
Look, you can ask them to have chemistry, but begging that this trip will make Luka play better defense.
And now you're asking for a
lot.
lot.
You're asking
We just
for a
want
lot.
effort, just a little effort.
Be happy with what you got right now. You know, we have to be grateful for the things that we do have, and not wish that Luka could play a little bit more defense. I don't see it happening.
But so here's my thing about where the Lakers are at right now. Okay, so Luka was traded to the Lakers in 2020, the beginning of 2025, February. So we had that half season, the full season last year, and now this is technically the second and a half season. Shouldn't there be a lot of expectations for this team? Shouldn't there be like a deep playoff run expectation for the team? Not just like, well, let's see how it goes. Who knows? Shouldn't this is Luka Doncic leading the Lakers in his prime after just leading the league in scoring. Shouldn't this be like, no, we want to go on a deep playoff run here. I don't want to get to the second round and lose again. That's not the goal.
I think if every player comes back with their role clearly articulated and defined, and they thrive and excel in their role, the Lakers can be an extremely dangerous team.
I agree.
So
sure.
I'm not saying, listen, I'm a Laker fan. That I am a Laker fan, right? Will I celebrate a second round exit? No. Guess what? For the last 8 years, I haven't celebrated except for one time, and it really didn't feel like much of a celebration. But am I realistic that do I anticipate the Lakers winning a championship this year? No. I have tempered my expectations. Now, if the Lakers win one, I am going to be on Figueroa, probably in the Lakers Speedo, you know what I'm saying, running up and down the street. Do I think the Lakers are?
By the way, we got that.
That's your right. And that's your right as a fan.
If the Lakers win a championship there, I'll go out on Figueroa in a big ass pamper. All right, like
well,
I'm calling Luka
big ass pamper. All right,
I'm calling Luka right now.
You'll be Slim Parker by then. You'll be Slim
Lakers Philly in the finals, like 79 and like 2001. Let's see the Lakers take them down. That's what I'm dreaming of. But you just have to be, just being realistic. Of course, as Laker fans, it's always championship. We've seen too many of them, so it's always that. But you just have to be realistic about this group. That's why it reminds me so much of the 2007, Lakers per se, to where you're just like, hey, we just want to see the magic of Luka and how far he can get this group. So if he gets to the second round, it's going to be a disappointment. But it's like, all right, now we know what we're missing, which pieces that we're missing that we could try to go get. So I think that as long as this team doesn't like get embarrassed in the first round or misses the playoffs, that is going to be looked at as a season of success, because it's like, all right, we if they can win 50 games, take a team to 6 or 7 games in the second round, if it's OKC or the Spurs, I think that can be a positive, because it's just being realistic, which I believe a lot of Laker fans are now after, the years of LeBron, AD's failure, and then LeBron with Luka and Austin.
Let me give you a scenario and put it into this perspective, and it involves J.J. Redick. The 2018 Philadelphia 76ers with J.J. Redick as the 2 guard is more talented than this Lakers team. And you know what happened to them? They lost in the second round.
Yeah, was that the one that
crazy?
lost? That wasn't the one that lost to Kawhi.
You know what's crazy? Because there's a team that just had a major acquisition that I think is going to completely derail the strength of that team, because players are going to be relegated to just being corner merchants, stand in the corner and wait for the ball, which is not their strength. And so I am more apt and more prone to think that the Lakers are more primed for playoff success than other teams. Now, what will happen throughout the course of the season? Who knows? Injuries will abound. Trades will be made. But I think if the Lakers are able, where everybody comes in knowing, hey, this is my role, I have to thrive in my role in order for this team to be successful. Sometimes it doesn't matter on the best collection of talent that's on the roster. It has to be the best team. And I think Luka getting everybody over there portends well for the team and actually coming back and playing as a team.
Yeah, that's true.
But before,
that's why we see so many failed super teams, right?
Yeah.
That's why all these teams fail, is because you get all this talent together. You don't figure out who does what, how it works, and you just say, go get them. Versus a team that is calibrated for a deep playoff run, everybody does what they're supposed to do. Elam is exactly right. If everybody on this Lakers team, and the same goes for Philly too, right? They're the big talk of the town super team right now. If everybody can play their role and do what they do, whether it's defense, whether it's shooting, whether it's movement, whether it's pick and roll, whether it's rebounding, whatever it may be, if they can do that at the highest level, then they will be able to have more success than your typical super team, throw a bunch of talent in there, see what happens, because that's not a team. And we've seen it with Brooklyn. We've seen it with
Brooklyn again.
Brooklyn again. We've seen it with Boston and the Lakers and this, and we've seen it with Phoenix, if you will.
Yeah.
They don't work because there's no
Clippers.
team. Too many times.
The Clippers.
So
too,
if the Lakers if they can give me team, if they can give me camaraderie, if they can give me roles, if they can give me do what you do to the best of your ability, I think that this team could go deeper than people would think.
I agree.
But at the same time, Grant, you're right. We've got prime Luka. He's going to have a long career, but you don't know what's going to happen in the league.
Right.
Go for broke now. What are you waiting for? Feel it out next few years? This is the modern NBA. You don't get a guy for 20 years straight. You don't get a franchise player. People move. Things happen. Aprons get weird. Go for it as soon as you can. I mean, look, to bring up the team across the hall, that's what they tried to do. They tried to across the freeway. You're right. Down to Inglewood. That's what they tried to do. It failed. It's failed with a lot of teams. But I'd rather go for it than sit there in mediocrity being like, well, we tried to build something with Luka, but it kept falling apart. It's like, go get that extra guy, right? Go get that extra piece that can go get you over the hump instead of just saying, no, we'll develop. We'll give money here and here and here. That's what Philly's trying to do. The question is, does that work versus going and getting a better role player? So it's about how the bench, how the role players, how the guys do. But we just got to see it at this point.
Tim,
it's too much unknown for the Lakers right now.
Tim, go ahead.
Grant, we got to move on, Grant?
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was going to say, in the Sixers' defense, in Bob Myers' defense, he didn't seek out to build a super team. In this very similar to the Luka Doncic situation, Jaylen Brown fell at their feet Of course, you really want Paul George for Jaylen Brown? You're damn right we're going to give you Paul George for Jaylen Brown. And thus, LeBron James was like, well, wait a second. I want to go to the team with all this talent where I don't have to do so much at 42. I don't think they tried to build some super team like the Heat did with Pat Riley or the Nets that we talked about. I think this was just, it fell into their lap. And now let's see, with a championship coach and Nick Nurse, how we can put it together.
All right, before we transition, the Lakers in that 2019-2020, before that season, everyone's like, what are they doing? What kind of moves are these? KCP, really? Jared Dudley, are you kidding me? Why are they JaVale McGee? Like this team doesn't make any sense. And they were the best team all year, and they won the championship in 2020.
But the AD move was the was the critical move.
Okay,
yeah,
I understand.
Yeah, the AD move.
But I'm saying the notion out there in media was that the Clippers were so much better. They just got Paul George and Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah,
How is this Lakers? What is Rob Pelinka cooking over there? This team doesn't make any sense.
That was
they
a
won the championship. It was. It really was. I can guarantee you it was.
No,
I know it was because I was just watching highlight clips of mine, very narcissistic, of that 2020 season, and the conversation I was having on. I asked Charles Barkley, "Hey, if the Clippers win, would they overtake Los Angeles?" And he's like, "No, they will never overtake Los Angeles." But that was some of the conversation being had, which is crazy.
That was because Kawhi just won a championship, so he was getting all of the love. And AD, remember, he had sat out a bunch of those games with the Pelicans, so they were like, "Is he healthy?" And they clearly showed what they
People
could do.
were very far out on that Lakers team, and they kicked everyone's behind and won the championship.
But look at we're used to the Clippers.
At the 1 seed, they steamrolled the playoffs.
If they had the lead after the third quarter, they won.
They won the
It's like I don't get why anybody was believing in the Clippers then, because we expect them to do bad things and fail, and just looks like bad things continue to linger with them. Grant, I'm not going to let you escape. We got to talk about it.
I was just going to transition to it. That's why I was going to get to that. The Clippers aspiration investigation. It is 2084. We are still on the show, and the investigation is still going on. There is Bronny James Jr. the second now, and he's in the league, and the aspiration investigation has yet to conclude. We're still waiting on the Kawhi Leonard trade. The calendar just turned to 2085 now. The
Happy New Year.
Investigation still isn't concluded.
Bronny James III is in the league now.
He just got drafted.
So, guys, listen, there's a new report from Baxter Holmes, and Baxter does incredible work for ESPN, but he said that this may go into 2027. Are you kidding me?
What do you mean? All right.
Okay, and another thing.
You know what?
All these reports, all these reports. Well, the Raptors are the ones that are going to hold all the penalties if anything happens. You said that a month ago. You said that as soon as the trade was accepted. I don't need that to be regurgitated every week. We understand. That's why this trade's on hold. Newsflash. The reason why this trade is on hold is because the Raptors don't want any of the penalties. You don't have to go on NBA Today and regurgitate that yet again. You don't need to put out a breaking tweet that says, well, the Raptors did it because they don't want any of the penalties. I can guarantee you they know about that, and we knew about it 3 weeks ago. So in that sense, guys, there is no new reporting on this. Anyone that comes out with new reporting, I don't think they even know what's going on. Wachtell Lipton and whoever the heck those partners are, they're the only ones with billable hours that know what's going on right now. Mykell, what's going on, man? What do you think of this?
I just feel bad for the Toronto Raptors, right? Like they came into it thinking like, yo, we're going to make this move. From what they were probably hearing was like, man, they didn't know what was going on. So like, let's make this move. We were right there to try to make a push in the Eastern Conference last year, but Brandon Ingram fell apart. Now we added Kawhi Leonard coming off possibly his best season in a while. We might mean business. And for them now to have to wait, or this trade may never happen. One, right, they don't get a player that they really wanted, that they felt can put them over the top. Kawhi was going to come there, retire there, possibly get his jersey retired. Like, it was all in motion, and it's not going to happen, it looks like. And then number two, a guy like Brandon Ingram is like, I'm stuck on this team that wanted to trade me like that. Like, it's just going to be uncomfortable if, you know, he has to be with the Raptors next season, because it's like this team is trying to trade me anyway. Him and Glorilla might just stay away.
Yeah,
we might see
Glorilla's
him
in limbo.
You know, so
Where's he
it's
gonna
going to
go?
be interesting, but it just sucks for the Raptors that they have to deal with this. I wish the NBA would just get right to it so that we can move on from it.
Don't we all?
Tim,
I
Don't we
want
all?
Glorilla in Inglewood. I want Glorilla in Inglewood. That's all I got. Because this is we talked about this last night. This is an exhausting conversation of legality that a lot of us really don't even understand. Now people are adding other crap into it about real estate investments, team ownerships. So it's just like never ending until there can be some actual proof and hard evidence that Uncle Dennis and Kawhi, and not even Kawhi, but Uncle Dennis on behalf of Kawhi did something illegal, whether it comes to actual legality in the streets or the legal world or the NBA regulations. There has to be some hard evidence instead of all this hearsay and presumptive evidence. I haven't heard one piece of hard evidence since Pablo talked about this way back when the investigation first started.
But the thing is, you wouldn't want if there is a smoking gun, you wouldn't want that in the media, because the moment we get wind of it, it's going to change the perception of not only Kawhi Leonard but the Clippers as well. And so what is happening is we're attempting to adjudicate something through the media where there are proper channels that are responsible for doing this. They're doing their job. I told you guys before July 4th, if it wasn't concluded by then, it did not portend well for the Clippers organization. The longer this lingers, the worse it gets for the Clippers. Here's the reason why.
Yeah.
Once the league submits their findings, the Clippers get an opportunity to review it, and the entire league gets to review it. When that happens, the Clippers get an opportunity to push back and say, hey, we either accept this punishment or we don't accept this punishment. If they do not accept the punishment, they either go to and through arbitration or they go to court. This is not a simple submit my findings and it's over type of thing. This is going to go into 2027. And again,
there you go.
I said before the 4th of July, if it wasn't done by then, it's not going to go well for the Clippers.
So effectively, the trade is null and void. Basically, I mean, like,
I won't be surprised. I won't be surprised that if this doesn't get concluded until after the trade deadline.
There's no trade then. Good luck, Clippers.
In that case, the trade would not happen. The trade would not happen.
I guess they have until the 2027 deadline to get this done, or it's done.
Well, if this doesn't get situated by training camp, I feel like it's something's going to have to happen. You don't want to go into
training camp with this limbo. Ruins your season.
Whether it's an amendment to the trade where, hey, we don't give you the picks, or hey, you have to send another player, whatever it may be. If it gets into training camp, there's a real issue on both sides here. So, guys, we're going to end the show there. Thank you guys so much for coming on. Tim, David, Mykell, Elam. Awesome stuff tonight, guys. Thank you to all you guys that watched tonight. We're going to have this on all audio platforms. We're going to have it on YouTube. My name's Grant Mona from the Sporting Tribune today. You guys have a good night.